Kathy and Christina, thank you for being here. We're here because Kathy and Christina both have had experiences with Vianney. Christina currently has a child enrolled in Vianney, and Kathy is an alum. Her child has graduated from Vianney.
No, actually, I think he has one more year.
Oh, he has one more.
Hmm.
Okay. So having more experience, um, we'll see.
He's done with Vianney, but I mean, he has one more year of high school. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gone through the tutoring process that Vianney's offered. Okay. So do you want to say anything about your experience, Christina, having Alyssa currently enrolled?
Yeah, she with Vianney for past 8 years already since she is in a grade one. So she is going to continue. She just graduated from a middle school. She is going to continue on the high school. So for sure is we're going to be there for the full high school years, maybe even after. Depends on the school development. So they may have the after high school program. I hope they're going to happen soon.
And Kathy, your experience having Eugenio enrolled?
Um, I believe when he first came to Vianney, it was in grade six. Um, he was educated at Vianney for 4 years, 4 years and a bit. My experience was absolutely beyond anything I think I could have like anticipated or expected. It was just such a welcoming place where there was so much inclusion, right, amongst the students, considering how diverse like it was. Every student that attends Vianney has their own unique needs, right?
Right.
Whether they're having a learning disability, whether they're gifted, whether they work at different paces. And I had never seen anything previous to finding Vianney Academy where it was just absolute inclusion. And I don't know how it happens, but it flows almost so effortlessly. And I loved the fact that I knew there was good values and Christian beliefs like behind it. For me as a parent, that was one of the important like deciding factors when I was looking.
Mhm. And so now that you have some distance from the school, has your perspective changed at all now that Eugenio is in, more independent with his education?
Um, I don't know if my perspective would, I can't say my perspective on the school itself like has changed. I've seen it grow in a lot of ways positively. I don't think I would hesitate to do it again. Like if my child said he wanted to continue, absolutely. Um, I have also pointed a lot of parents that have students now in Vianney that way that weren't there before, because there's in Peel anyways, I haven't found anything remotely even similar to what Vianney Academy can offer, like across the board.
What makes it so different?
If I had to honestly answer that, um, it's kind of like there's schools and then there's schools where they genuinely care individually about each student. Um, the staff at Vianney, the way they are with their students, you can tell that there's a genuine desire to help them. It's not just a business. It's not just like where you see that with a lot of other private schools, whether they're larger scale or not. And what makes it, I guess if I didn't, like each student can work at their own pace and feel absolutely comfortable with doing so. Like there's no bullying, there's no like the beliefs every single day that just to know that my child was there with other students that come from families that are like they're like-minded, like we're all on the same page, like in how we want to raise our kids, our values, our morals, our beliefs. I think that's what makes it stand apart.
There's some community.
There's it is that's the word I was looking for, sorry. It is like a community, like it is an actual like community, like where people genuinely care.
So how would you describe the personality of the community in only 3 words?
Oh, I have to do it in 3 words.
Yes.
That's going to be very difficult. Um, in 3 words, like how would I describe that community?
Yeah.
If it was a person,
Yeah.
you
Or
want me to describe Vianney Academy if they were a person, right?
yeah. How's the personality?
Oh, the personality. Sorry, I misheard you. The personality of Vianney. Exclusive. Like it's just it's completely it's unique. It's unique in its format. Unique in its format. Does that work? Is that 3 words?
Well, we have
It's
exclusive, unique.
yeah, it's 3 words. It's just so it's a community. It's I don't know any other way to describe it.
Exclusive,
It's
unique community.
inclusive, not exclusive. It is a very inclusive, unique
Inclusive.
community. It is inclusive where like everybody feels that they are part of it. It is not like anybody is excluded in any way. So if I had to describe it as a personality, it would be inclusive community, like
Mhm.
genuine community. That's what it is.
That's beautiful. Um, if there was something you could change about the school, what would it be?
Vianney Academy needs an actual facility. It needs to be large enough to accommodate the demands because there's so much
Yes.
demand and it breaks my heart. Like I'm lucky that a few parents I've sent that way, there was the space. But to know that recently zoning was not approved or those technicalities that make it so hard to, it needs, if I could change one thing about Vianney, it needs a building. Vianney needs a facility. They need to be able to provide and keep up with the need in our community.
Absolutely.
Because Vianney is limited right now in what they can do and how many people they can help. And it's not for lack of desire to help. It's not for lack of knowing how to do it. It's like it doesn't, the facility needs to be there to help facilitate meeting that demand. There is a high demand for this, right? In Peel and nothing like it. So if I could change one thing only about Vianney, it would be to give them a gigantic facility where they can like accommodate a few hundred students, right? That would be the only thing.
And what do you think most people would find surprising about the school coming into it? Or what did you find surprising even?
For me coming in with my child, what surprised me was the immediate warmth. Like it wasn't just one staff, like the staff at Vianney treat you like you are part of the family. And you don't question it. You can feel the sincerity. It's genuine. Their staff just goes above and beyond anything I'd experienced. And I've been a mom for almost 22 years. And having two children on both opposite ends, like one had severe learning disabilities, one is somewhat gifted. I had never, and I had been to IEP meetings. I had been to like in and out of the, like, it's a grind. At Vianney, their staff goes above and beyond. Like it's not uncommon to have Karen call you or a parent or me at 8 o'clock at night. Like you don't find that anywhere else, right? That's to me what stood out the most. That
a personal touch.
There is so much personal touch. Yeah, absolutely.
Would you have any advice for parents just entering the school or even the students?
Advice for them when they're entering the school, like as new students, like the families, you mean?
Yeah, the families entering the system.
To have an open mind, to be prepared to be blown away because your kids will make progress that you just couldn't even imagine they would make. Whether it's previous tutors or previous schools said that they couldn't or that they can't, whether it's a pediatrician, being pessimistic. I have watched, not just with mine, but I've seen, like, I've watched Alyssa grow up, I feel like, right? Like I have seen the change happen. like before my eyes. I have seen kids that have flourished beyond what you would think they were capable of, right? So my advice would be go into it expecting to be blown away, because the amount of progress that all the students that come through Vianney make is truly so remarkable. Like it's hard to even express it. I can't find the words to articulate it. Yeah, I don't know if I would give them any advice different than that. Like it's a hard question to answer.
No, I understand. It sounds like you had a very good experience. And is there anything you'd want to say on maybe Eugenio's behalf, like things he's expressed about the school?
If you guys know my kid, and I can say this because I know it's going to be edited, right? If you guys know my kid, you would know that he would have my head if I spoke on his behalf, because it's just there's that control component with the ODD, right? But if I had to say it, I remember a time reading through his homework. I think it was grade 6 or 7 back then. He's last year high school now, so he's grown pretty much. And one of the homework questions was, why do you like Vianney? Was it a questionnaire? I can't even remember, but this specifically sticks out in my head. To see his answer, even at that young of an age, was, I like Vianney because I have a lot of friends and there's no bullying that's tolerated. Because that's a large part of the way they run their school. They focus on that inclusiveness. So if there is ever any, peer on peer conflict, it's almost like from the root, it's caught, they cut it off, the kids discuss it, there's, the reconciliation, and we move on. And I think it allows for that to be able to be, caught and dealt with because of the numbers being so small, right? Like in a classroom with 30 kids, a teacher cannot possibly be on top of that. So in my perspective, my child's feedback was always, he felt so able to be himself. Like he didn't have to pretend to be somebody else he wasn't. He didn't have to try to fit in. He could actually just be himself and feel accepted. Like that's his feedback that he's taken from all his years there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said earlier that you've basically seen Alyssa grow up as well. It's
A lot
clearly
of
a
the
very
students,
tight community.
It is. It's very much what it should be. I think that's how it should be in a perfect world. In an ideal world, that's what school should be about. But it's not possible in a public school system. It's just not possible. No,
Right.
It's just not. And it's comforting to know that when my child is there mingling, socializing with his peers within Vianney, more often than not, these kids have the same values at home with their parents as I do within my home, the way I'm raising my child. And I can't stress it enough. Like it was a huge deciding factor for me that we were all like-minded households coming from a Christian background, wanting the best for our kids. Like there's not a parent that has had a child in Vianney that can not fall in that category. Like we are all very like-minded.
Was it difficult to find people like that before Vianney?
Oh, absolutely. It was very, very difficult. And it's not just that, but the parents form friendships. And a lot of times I've seen it through Vianney where, you have that support system sometimes even outside of the school, because you meet another parent whose child is literally, let's say, struggling with dyslexia or struggling with global delay or struggling with other, special needs. And you feel less alone because the other parents that have their kids in there with you, like they totally get it. Like they get it. Like you don't feel so, isolated or segregated. Whereas in a larger school, kids like ours, they get lost. They just get lost. I've seen it in the Peel District School Board, right? It's just there's not that sense of community.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Everything you're saying, it resonates deep.
Yeah, there's a special place in my heart forever. And as many students as she can take on, I'll just keep throwing people her way. But I swear, there's not a single thing in my soul that I would change about Vianney other than they need a facility. Like they need to be able to do God's work and educate kids and make kids succeed on a larger scale, because there's so much need right now and there's so much demand. And it's just not something that right now they can actually take on. They can't, because you're limited, right? We know there's zoning, there's numbers that play a role. There's a lot of it the way it is right now.
Mhm.
It's kind of like I see it at a standstill. And that's difficult to watch when you are so passionate and something resonates with you. It's very hard because I know that the desire is there for them to expand. And I know that the student body is there that needs a school like this, like to help them. But it's almost like their hands are tied. And that's so disheartening for me as a mom who's had a kid come through there and succeed while there, to watch it. Like it's very disheartening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christina, do you have you had any similar experiences to what Kathy's saying in terms of the community and your experience with
Yes.
Alyssa?
Yes, absolutely. So for Alyssa, I'm so glad to see she's grown up from the really, troublemakers, little girls from the elementary school, and then now grown up to very calm, and then understandable, and then it's a kind of a teenager. You see, she is a teenager now. The youth, not before she had so much problem with the behaviors. So that's why we have lots of challenges in the public school. So I remember we've been called, by the school every day, and then so stressful. And then we are lucky to find Vianney there. So she been there for almost the past 8 years. So some is a full time, sometimes it's a part time. But the teachers over there, hands by hands, hold her from the we don't, at that time we don't know what to do. That's a problem. We don't see the future. But right now we're pretty confident that she's going to grow more, develop more in the high school, and then going to the college or workplace in the future. So that's the confidence. I think that's what I get from the Vianney. You feel the kids can be successful. Yeah.
How come you chose Vianney in the first place?
Yeah, so this is actually from the Vianney's old students. So I had a chance to talk to their parents. Is also the mouth of the word. So the parents really promote Vianney. So he said you got to try. So, and then at that time I talked with Karen, has a consulting session, and then he showed me, at that time we do have a little bit of space because my daughter is younger, and then there's also some physical exercise therapy as well involved, not only academic, math or or readings. So I'm really impressed, and then I said I want to join this school for sure. And then also, as I said early, she's not able to adapt, mainstream student at that time, even though she has a TA, full-time TA. There's no suitable personalized program for her. And then, that's why after talking with Karen, and then we decided to join the Vianney. Yeah.
What were you expecting when you came into Vianney, and was it any different from what you expected?
Yeah, I think that's what I expected. It's a very personalized, as Kathy said, it's very inclusive, and then based on the each student's needs, and then they design the program for you. And then we always have a one-on-one, communication with the teachers, Karen, and other staff. So to see what is current cap or optical right now for my student, and then they always have some recommendations. And then also in the meantime, I give my recommendations as well. So we talking each other and then find the best fit for my daughter. So I really appreciate the way they're the teaching strategies. And then they I feel I involved all the time. I'm not being excluded or separated, and then no idea what's my daughter's progress. So and then make me feel also confidence as well. So I know what's going on with my daughter, how her progress, and then also as much as we can as parents, we always want to help or add more for the school as well. Yeah.
And how much has Alyssa been impacted by Vianney? Like what are some of the biggest changes you've seen?
Yeah, so I will say her academic skills being improved dramatically. She can read the books, she can write. So because at the beginning, her speech has been delayed seriously. So even though we have a speech therapist, we don't know for her futures if she is able to develop anything. So, but after this 8 years program, the teacher have the strategy in place for her, and then so academically she improved a lot. So of course, still working more on the math, but her readings is unbelievable, improved so much. So and also actually her social skills improved as well. Before, as I said, we have so much stress is because of her behavior issues. Sometimes she has a little bit aggressive behaviors, or don't know what kind of situation, what kind of things she need to do. She's not able to sit still, but right now she can sit still to do her homework, and then can sit down to listen the lectures or teachings for quite a long time. Yeah, for whole morning she can sit. And then not jumping around, because she grown up from the little girl, right, from the elementary school, so used to jumping around, so but right now she's so calm, and then this is all because the teachings, the strategy in place, and then the therapies we've been doing. So I think it works. Yeah,
it's more than just reading and writing. She's gotten so much more.
She makes some good friends over there. And then she always looking forward to go back to school. Every day right now she wants to go back to school. Yeah.
What does she say about the school?
I think so she if she will say she being loved. Yeah, she being loved by all the school teachers, and also the friends there. She built the bond over there.
That's so nice.
And then yeah, exactly. So I think that's the best, and then she being motivated. Before she's not really, as I said, it's a hard time to sit down to do the homework, to do the academic work. But when she's in the Vianney, she can sit down, focus, motivated to do her best. So that's all because of the teacher over there, so they I don't know, they have a magic word, to inspire them, yeah, the young souls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you could describe Vianney as a personality, in 3 words, what would it be?
So I will say that person, Vianney, is diligent, you know, yeah, because the teachers always there, always try to do their best. And then they're always looking for new materials, new therapies, new ideas, new technologies for our student. So like the teacher Karen just recently completed another courses. So I'm impressed. So that's the things, you know, they always on the path to improve themselves and then expand the categories or paths for all our students to reach their maximize. So that's the things that, you know, they spending time, they want to spend the time, they're working really hard from morning to evening. So, you know, not all other teachers doing that. So, so that's the first thing. The second one is, I would say they're really passionate as a person, as a school as well. So they want to teach the student, they want to them to be a better person. So they are not, as Kathy said, they're not, you know, money making profit. So they just survive there, and then but the rest of the money they want to put for a student, like better facilities, better educations.
They invest in the students.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's right. So, so the third one I would say still same, loved. You know, you feel being loved over there. You feel the attentiveness. You feel you're the member of the family. Yeah, they all like a big family. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's what I feel. Yeah.
And how would you describe the values of the school and and like how the values of the families that are also involved?
Yeah, so I will say no matter what kind of a, you know, the issues or difficulties you'll be facing your kids, you always can find some solution over there, you know. So you know, they're very creative. They as I said, they always find the ways to personalize your kids' education. So I think that's the value you can find over there. Not all the school can offer that. So and then you can find a strategy will work out for your kids, for your child. So some people always say, okay, your daughter able to read or write or can sit down right now because she grown up naturally. I don't believe so. I think there's a lot of work behind it, make her so far so successful right now. I believe she will continue to grow and improve in the future. Yeah.
And you don't think that could have been done without Vianney?
Exactly. Yes.
And what are the values of the community? So outside of the school, the other kids, the other families, because I know you guys are all in communication a lot. Or
oh yeah, yes. So we always you know, have a board meetings or parents meetings going on all the time. So, and then as a community, we exchange the ideas, you know, what is you know, best for the Vianney to continue to develop. So, and then as a community, so we're strong, I believe. And then I hope we are going to have a more, like Kathy mentioned, we have a bigger, we have more staff helping more kids. So we're all passionate as parents, right? We love to help. Yeah.
Do you have any closing remarks about the school? Anything you want to say on Alyssa's behalf, or anything you didn't get to mention?
So I will say my daughter will stick with Vianney. So for the rest of the high school, maybe even after high school, So, and then I believe Vianney will develop as a really good school if we have the right resources or right support from the community or from the government, you know. So as Cassie said, the school also want to help more students, more kids, and then make our society, valuable as well, right? So because we help those kids, they can be independent in the future, they can do a good job, have a good workplace. So that will help our community in return, right? So not only benefit our children and also benefit our community, so our society. So that's the things we're hoping for. Yeah.
And Kathy, I just wanted to give you another chance in case there was anything you wanted to add in or anything you thought of in the meantime before we close off here.
You had asked me earlier if there's anything that I was skeptical about when I first entered into Vianney with my child and embarked on it. I didn't understand the entire outside of the, like public school system, how it works. And I know that it became very evident, like really quick, because I did my research, but a lot of parents that may have children like mine or like Alyssa or that require like something like this, I think there's sometimes hesitancy because they're like, okay, but if they graduate from Vianney, can they actually go to university or can they actually go to college? And it's absolutely positive. There's a lot of kids that have graduated from Vianney and are at McMaster or other, like very prominent, well-known colleges, universities, if that's what they choose to do. Like some kids might want to go into trades and go right into a workplace. But I feel that it's important to just put that out there, that it doesn't hinder your child's post-secondary opportunities in any way whatsoever. And they offer that extra support. Sometimes you need to pull up your marks, right? For your entry marks and stuff. And not a lot of other high schools would do that.
It doesn't
they don't have the time allocated to do that for every student. But at Vianney, if your student needed that extra assistance to get in and get accepted, whether it's a course or a college, they will literally invest, like Christina was saying, like they will invest in a way to figure out a solution.
They will get it done.
And if they don't know, they will find one. Like the resources and the love and the time and the personalized energy that goes in it it's mind-blowing. Like it's something unlike anything I've seen anywhere else. So my biggest thing, and I'm asked often when I try to suggest parents to check it out, is it accredited? Can they get into university after with a diploma from there? Or absolutely, it's not any different than when your child graduates in a public school grade 12. They can absolutely take their high school diploma and go into post-secondary, whatever they choose, right? So I just wanted to put that out there in case a lot of people still there's that stigma, right? With the whole private school, homeschool, all of it. And it's like, yeah, no, it doesn't make our kids' opportunities any less. If anything, I think it just enriches their opportunities.
Thank you. That's perfect. The perfect thing to end off on. Thank you both for your time. Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Yes. I'm grateful to have Vianney with us, a child, to go so far, and then we all really appreciate the effort, all the staff and then teachers doing there. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We're gonna just close it off here. Kathy, Christina, have a good evening, and thank you.
Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.